hear anything. Hi, how is everybody doing?
Good
Okay, so you can hear me.
morning.
I needed someone to test that theory out.
Loud and clear.
Hi, all. We have about 6 folks. We got to get to 10 to have quorum. So, 7. So when we get that, I will start the meeting. All right, we got 8. Just need 2 more. There's an 808 number on here, and I just want to make sure that it's not one of the committee members, because if it is, we actually have, I think we have it now. So, okay, let's see. Let me check. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one. 2, 3. Okay. Oh, yep, we got everybody. Enough people to move forward. Can everybody hear me okay? We good? Okay, all right. All right, so it is, Tara, it gave me a notification that it's automatically recording. Are we okay with that? I know we've had problems in the past, so, okay, great. I thought that would be the case, but I just wanted to check. Okay, so it is 10:02, and we are going to call this meeting to order. First up is roll call. So I'll dive into that. Kathleen Rooney, I'm here. Tara Lucas.
Here.
Robin Shishido.
Here.
Heidi Hansen-Smith.
Hi, here.
Okay, Audrey Hidano. No, okay. Sarvis, it looks like you're here, yeah?
Here.
All right, thank you. Leah Laramie.
Here.
Yep. Chris Junker, no, but Nicole Chernohorsky for Chris, yep.
Here, yep.
Okay, Sierra Whiteside. Yamato Sasaki.
Here.
Jesse Doyen.
Good morning. Here.
Michael Moole, are you here today? I don't see you. Kurt Watanabe.
Here.
There you are, okay. Tommy Noyes, Marie, you're here for him, correct? Okay, well, I see you there. I need to say yay. Okay, well, we'll check it a bit. James, I think you are still on vacation. Along with Tommy, they're all hanging out someplace amazing. Probably not, but okay. Thanks, Marie. Thanks for the chat. Sound's not working, but yeah, let me. Okay, Jessica Thompson.
Present.
Okay, and then Jean Torres.
I'm here.
And then, oh, are you here? I'm sorry, is that you on the 808 number?
Yes.
Oh, okay, lovely, thank you. Sorry about that. All right. Senator Chris Lee or Representative Darius Keela.
Hi, this is Doreen Eddy on behalf of Darius Keela.
Okay. Okay, and if there are any other guests, can you announce yourself now or for us, just for the record? I can't always get everybody. So if you could say your name, that'd be great. Just so we know who's on.
Hi, Kevin Richardson, Deputy Attorney General.
Another.
Eduardo Hernandez, Hawaii Bicycling League.
Patty Jesus Stavrakis with Hawaii Public Health Institute.
Leanne Lopez with Hawaii Public Health Institute.
Anybody else out there? Okay, great. Thank you all for.
Justice.
Oh, got it. All right.
I see Justin too.
I'm sorry, who?
Justin.
Justin
Oh, yeah.
Department
Got it. So, okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so next up we have approval of the minutes from the April 20. Oh, thanks, Keo, posted in the chat. I'll add that to the list. Approval of the minutes for April 22nd, 2025 meeting. Are there any edits or comments or concerns with the minutes at this time? Okay, hearing none, I would love to entertain a motion and a second to approve those at this time. And thanks, Michael. I see you on the chat too. Great. James isn't here, so you can, okay, Jesse, thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Was that you, Luke? Sorry, I couldn't quite tell. Yes?
Yeah, or whoever, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my sound is really bad. Does any, please give me just a second. Oh, there we go. Can someone say something so I can hear?
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah, much better. Sorry, I didn't know where the volume was on this thing. Okay, so are there any objections or abstentions to approving the minutes at this time? Okay, so moved. We have approved the minutes then. Okay. Next up, let me share my screen, dive into a few things. We don't have a speaker today, so I don't think we will necessarily need the full time. So It's not letting me share my screen again. Tara, can I send this to you? And do you mind sharing your screen
Oh yeah, go
real
ahead.
fast? For some reason, it's not letting me do it. And I don't know why. I need to get this figured out. It says I don't have permissions. Okay. I sent it to you just now. Let's see. I'm going to try and do it too on my end. Try it again. Let's see. Okay. Hey. See if I can do this. Tara, did you happen to get it? I'm sorry. I don't know why this happened.
Not
Able to
yet.
share
Is it
last-
the same that you sent previously, or?
No, I
Were
updated
there
it based on
changes?
Kevin's recommendation last night on just the
Okay.
last schedule slide. But we can start with it. How about that? And then we can
Okay, hold
provide.
on.
It's just for discussion anyway. So. Sorry about this. I'm not quite sure why all of now this is like me. I will, how about I open it up in the meantime? Okay, so while Tara's getting that shared, I just wanted to give, we have some quick updates and then some updates from the Permitted Interaction Group as well on their work. And so we'll kind of dive right in. Just as a quick state legislative update, I wanted folks to know that HB 1231, which establishes a special fund, actually includes Safe Routes to Schools fee. So that is passed through conference. And so that will be going to the governor at this point in time. So if that happens, then we would be looking at, in addition to the current Safe Routes to Schools surcharge that provides about $400,000 a year to this particular special fund, we would be looking at additional monies on top of that. Some estimates have put it in near to about $5 million to $6 million a year, depending on the circumstances. So I just wanted to let folks know, and you know, we haven't heard anything necessarily past that, but that this committee would then have some resources continuing on past the current amount of money that's been obligated. So that's been provided. So, any luck, Tara? Before I'm just trying to make a break. There we go. Okay, let's go to slide number 4 then. Okay, so as a reminder, these have been sort of the 3 tasks. Let's go, you know, so we'll give updates on all 3. Can we go to slide number 4? Or 5, sorry. Tara, do you want to give an update on the progress? I know you sent out an email about it, but I think folks would like to hear on the progress for the RFQ process.
Oh, are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we see it in presenter mode, not in
okay, wait,
presentation.
hold
So we're
on.
seeing like the notes part, but we can see it, yeah. I can. Can everybody else see it? Okay, yeah. So, but you can't see it?
No, I can see it, but I don't know how to get it to presenter mode.
I think if you hit the
this
button on the bottom right next to the Zoom, that looks like a presenter screen. Try that, see if that works.
Oh. Oh, can you see anything? I just see black.
No, we see this presenter, like the notes mode, the presenter mode.
Okay,
right
wait,
now,
let me try to share it again. Hold on.
so. Well, it's nice not to be alone in the technical difficulty space when it comes to Teams. So. Okay, we're seeing the PowerPoint again,
I'm
but
just
just
trying to share my screen, but
yeah. There we go. Now it's doing it. Great. Do you want to go to the next slide and give an update on the RFQ process? There we go.
oh, okay. So we're just working on refining the scope right now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good back and forth, and also with Megan from DOE on what data is available. And I mean, you've been really pushing it along and asking good questions, Sarah. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And then let's go. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just had a question. Is there like an estimated timeline for when the scope might be done?
We're thinking soon. I'm waiting for a response on something, and we're almost there.
Yeah, Tara, refresh my memory. Did it go to highway planning already, or is that still the next step? I can't remember if you did that or
No,
not.
so
Okay.
I sent you a comment, but
Yeah, I know.
after
That's it. I
that-
got to look at it today, so I will do that. I've been focusing on this PowerPoint, but yeah. Okay, I just couldn't remember. Just couldn't remember if you had sent it and then this came back from that, or if it was still getting it to that point. Okay.
no, so
And-
we need to have a scope before we can send it, before we can ask our design branch to procure the contract.
Okay. Why is it going through the design branch? I thought it had to be a planning one.
They usually procure our consultant contracts.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay. And then after it goes to highway planning, does it then go to design, or is there another step in between? To sort of Yamato's question a little bit about the process.
Then it doesn't really go to planning for the procurement.
Oh, I know. But didn't you say you wanted them to review it? I thought you were sending it to them next. And then getting feedback, and then would it go to design? Is that the process? I'm just trying to understand the steps.
Planning to, but I can.
Oh, no, that's fine. I thought you had said that's who you wanted to send it to. I apologize. So when you get the clarifications, it then goes to design, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And then I guess just because now I'm just super curious, like then what's the next steps after that? So do they just start working through procurement? Like what's the time frame maybe for release? Like do we have an idea of that, like an estimate? Or is that we won't know until we send it to design?
Yeah, we'd have to check what design.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that would be a good question in the future then. But okay. Thanks. Are there any other questions for Tara? Okay. Go to the next slide. Okay. I just kind of put this on here just to kind of, since these are the 6 positions that were identified in the report. But Yamato, how are things on your side? What's going on? I think I've heard different updates from different people. So.
Regarding my position, is this what the question is about?
Yeah, the funding, like is the Safe Routes to School special money needed, or has things worked themselves out, or no, or?
I'm still waiting for Tara to let me know how things are. I think she's working on things on her end. I don't know, Tara, do you have an update on that?
We're waiting for the deobligation of the Kauai County funds. So we're waiting for someone from Kauai County to sign the agreement before we can process it.
I know previously you mentioned that you think it would all get worked out by the end of June, but do you still have that expectation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess like keep us posted. There's not much the committee can do, but I mean, or Michael, if you can nudge someone in the county to sign the agreement to help us move these things along, that would be great, I guess. And then just so folks know that there is a draft job description for the Hawaii department, which would be more of a program manager. So expanding sort of the capabilities of the program. That's been kind of batted around. Not since Tara's got, a very specific job around this and scope, and really just trying to build the capabilities internally, especially since there's a lot of things in the law for the program that are kind of bigger and broader than that. Robin, did you have any update or questions or anything on that particular process?
No, I know you sent me the PDs. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I'll get to it.
No, that's great. Thank you. So, slowly but surely trying to move some of these things along in the process, and hope that we can get towards, supporting that staff, that network more effectively and more broadly. Okay, next slide.
Hey, Tara, who's that agreement with?
I saw Highway SM send it last month, and then yesterday they sent a follow-up. I think you were on that email.
Okay, let me just check on that. So from
It should be from Matt Morita.
okay, let me check. Thank you. Oh yeah, I see it here. Okay.
And Michael, is the Kauai one still scheduled to start in July?
Oh, so we sent. Oh, it's a different one. Sorry, we sent the one back for. Yeah. Okay. I will. Oh yeah, there were two say Frost the school ones, and I guess we missed one. Okay. We'll get this signed.
Oh, great. Thanks, Michael.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
And then, is the person still scheduled to start in Kauai? Start in July?
As far as I know, I haven't heard anything different.
Cool.
I know
Just as sort of,
yeah.
I think, a matter of updating when, I know that you were looking to transition off the committee over time,
Yep.
but you just got to send in an updated designee form from the county, I think. That's my understanding of the process. I know because Luke's actually done it 3 or 4 times now, so it seems to be the right process. So, so just, when you're ready to do that, just, send it along to me and Tara, and we'll get it figured out. So, okay, great. Next slide.
I had a question. Is there anybody in the DOE that I guess knows about this investing in a position there?
Yeah. There's been some discussions, particularly since there was also a bill to fund additional student transportation coordinators, which I don't believe passed. But so there has been some discussion about that. And so I guess stay tuned. I've been talking to Megan a bit about it actually, about how to do it. So they are willing to submit a request, but they've got to figure out how to do it on their side too. But whether or not that all works out is another question. So stay tuned. Okay, next slide. Tara, did it freeze on your side? It is going slow. Okay. So the PIG has been working and through diligently on this stuff, and we'll get to your guys' stuff in a second, but there are going to be 2 requested actions today. Oh, did you get the other PowerPoint? Because that one actually has the specific timeline, but I'll just update it verbally. Hopefully that's okay. Kevin, tell me if that's not, but the one thing that happened is during this process, it was discovered that the 2025 proposed pipeline project list was incomplete. I had missed the 2 counties, so I apologize for that. It was in the final report, but I didn't catch it when we did the PDF that combined it with the proposed state projects. So for today, I need everybody, we need to approve the updated full complete list for the PIG to do their work. So that's on me. I missed that. But when we were diving back into it, we realized that it was incomplete. And thanks to Tara and folks from the PIG for both, I guess, pointing it out, although I felt somewhat abashed by it. So for today, and this is in the board packet, I'd like to request that the committee approve the updated project pipeline list that includes the projects from the state in all 4 counties. It is called the 2025 proposed project pipeline list version 2. Are there any questions or comments or concerns about that? Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to approve the updated list in a second. He's so quiet today. Can I get
I move.
okay, thanks, Nicole. Can I get a second?
I will second.
I'll second.
Great. Okay, are there any objections or abstentions to approving the project pipeline list as amended, as proposed in version 2? Okay. All right, great. So it passes. Okay, so and then the next thing is I realize I don't know. There we go. I don't know who's going to talk about the updated criteria. Is that you, Yamato, or Jess? Which one do you guys want to?
I can talk about it.
Okay, why don't you present it and then we'll go back to the action. So they, the PIG would like to request some updates. So go ahead.
So what you see on your screen is the criteria matrix. The part outlined in red is what we would like to add to it as criteria for evaluating the projects. So we're asking this committee if we can get approval for adding these things. We'd like to add level of traffic stress to make sure the project deals with reducing stress level for walking and biking for kids. And then also the cost, we'd like to take that into consideration, the dollar amount requesting from Safe Routes to School funds, and then the total amount of the project. If anyone has any questions, we can answer it.
Okay. Yeah. Nicole, why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, so would the projects be scored somehow based on this? So I see the weight. I'm wondering how that would be used, or if that's something to figure out later.
Yeah, I'm guessing we will score the projects. We're asking each county to pick their top 6 and give
Okay.
us further details about the top 6 so that we can get all the information for each one of these criterias. And
Mhm.
then we would score them. And then pick how, depending on how much money each one of the projects requires. We're looking to allocate, I believe, $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a lot of money if the projects are coming in at like $2-3 million.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it makes sense to put in the scoring in it now or not, because I feel like that could also shift how this criteria is used, right? Like what's going to be higher or lower influence.
Nicole, what do you mean by that? Like, as in, like, if it's like 0 to 5?
Right, yeah. So what I think what I'm trying to get at is how the points, what the maximum amount of points is for each of these is going to determine which of these criteria has more weight. So So like if you just look at, and I see that it says like high weight, so there would be more points for that. I don't know, like right there, level of traffic stress, right? Both of those are high. But would it be just that like everything that is high has a higher number of points, medium would be something less, and low priority would be lower? Would they all be equal among each other? You know what I'm trying to get at? It's like you might end up having cost or level of traffic kind of outweigh everything else depending on how you choose the scoring. So I feel like I would kind of want to see the scoring ideally. Like how the points are to be awarded based on this criteria.
Yeah, I had sort of assumed it was kind of like across the board at this point in time because we just don't
Okay.
know what kind of information we'll have. But like that's an assumption
Right.
I personally made. Mostly because
Okay.
like right part of the job of the pig is to kind of like work through this a little bit. Like how can we assess things and what works and what doesn't, and then
Okay.
come back and make recommendations based upon
So
that
this-
process. But I think that's a
Okay.
good like question. I don't think it should stop us from maybe approving this as like
Right.
the important criteria, but I think some of this is like we don't exactly know how this all plays out, and we also
How
don't
it's
know
going.
the projects we're going to get in, so that kind of, you know, I
Right.
think there's a little
Okay.
level of like art to it, but they do have to come back and sort of explain to us the reasoning, so that we
Right.
can
Okay.
take that forward as well.
Makes sense. So this is supposed to be sort of high level, yeah?
Yeah, mostly because we're just not sure like what information we would get and under
Well,
what
we're gonna,
circumstances.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You know, and even though
Thank you.
Yamato's obviously a representative of one county, like that may not be true for the others. So kind of, at least that's how I've inferred it, but I think we're kind of creating it as we go a bit though too. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yamato, there was some, oh, sorry, any more, Nicole?
No, thank you. That makes sense.
And for folks on the pig, does that kind of match? I mean, I think Nicole's question is a good one, and you guys should think about it while you get evaluations, which is that like if certain things seem to be more important or, you know, outside of the high, medium, and low, then you just, you know, document it and explain it. So. Marie actually said her mic isn't working, but she said, can the project being in an adopted document be given high weight? These plans are adopted through public hearings and are developed through multi-year public processes. Moreover, they're the connection between the land use growth and transportation. And then also, can the projects that don't have alternative routes to schools be given higher priority too? For example, due to our poor network, there are a couple of schools where the only route to the school is on a high stress road and there are no stress routes available.
I can speak to why we gave low weight to the published documents criteria, and it was mainly because not all counties have one, so we didn't want to like punish, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but
yeah,
give lower marks to a county that hasn't developed a plan from getting a project.
Okay. And then, I mean, I think that these are good points to take forward. At this point in time, I think those are good notes, Marie, for sure. I think part of this is right. Like we also know is that there's, you know, the first tranche of money is not a huge amount of money to begin with. And so just trying to move that forward and understand how this works so that we can continue the process a little bit more. But I guess like, at least in the notes, are you making a request for it to be amended? If so, I guess we could talk about that more broadly.
Yes, making that request for amending.
No, you are, but I'm asking like Marie, if like do you guys want to make an amendment where like we give a higher weight to these sub projects, or do we want to keep it at low and go forward with the current proposal that's on the PowerPoint, and then just keep Marie's comments in mind as you evaluate? I mean, those are kind of the two options. Okay, Marie's asked if you'd be willing to amend it, to change it to either, I guess she would like high, but I think to your point, that it's possible that they may not be identified and we didn't want to penalize people if they had like support from a school and past community support. Would you guys be open to that, or should we, or no? Or does the pig want to try and do this the way it's, I don't know how to negotiate this question, to be honest, in the context of the pig.
Sorry, I don't know what the process is for this. I don't think that I should be the one to just decide on my own. Is this something that we vote on, or I have no idea how that works?
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, I think, Marie, since we aren't quite sure of the process, I think we're gonna take your points and integrate them in, and then I would say the best thing is like for the pig to think about whether or not, as a result of this process, do we need to elevate the medium. But for the purposes of today, I think let's vote to approve this revised as presented. And then you guys can think about if it makes sense in the future to address some of those things. So, and Marie also says she's willing to provide more detailed comments and justification too as you go through that process. So with that, can we go back one slide to the requested action then? Which is that the committee approves the permitted interaction group's request to update the evaluation criteria for the project funding recommendations in the document titled Project Evaluation Criteria version 2. Are there any objections or abstentions? Actually, sorry, can I get someone to make the motion and a second?
So moved.
All right, Luke for one, can I get a second from someone?
A second.
Seconded.
Okay, there was someone before Jesse, but I missed who it was, but I'll take Jesse for right now for the purposes. And then I guess, so with that in mind, are there any abstentions or objections to approving the updated criteria at this time, while recognizing that Marie has a request to keep an eye on those other criteria in the meantime? All right, hearing none, so moved. So, all right, Peg, you got your updated criteria. And then just let's go to slide 8 now, which is the schedule. So this schedule, oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, you're on mute, Yamato.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to invite Marie to join our next pig meeting so that we can have discussion about it more in detail. Marie, if you want to do that. Okay. I'll maybe you can call me or email me.
Okay, so this schedule is there we go. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are taking care of this stuff in the chat. Marie, drop your email in so they can reach you, although I can also connect everybody as well if that doesn't work. So just a quick update on the schedule. This is the one that the PIG provided with some updates because I think the timing, I just wasn't sure that all the counties in the state could provide them in the time frame. But I was also noticed that I think the way to think of it for right now is that in June, we are, the PIG is going to get this information from folks and try and, make some assessments using the recommended criteria. And then we'll report at the June meeting what their recommendations are. Well, give an update on how that process is going at the June meeting. The July meeting is when they would provide the funding recommendations to the KID committee. But the way OIP recommends it then, and the way the construction of PIGs have to do is that the recommendations would get presented in July, and then we'd have to either schedule another meeting afterwards, or we would make the decision on the August meeting. sorry, Yamato, I got that update yesterday afternoon on how the schedule needed to work in order to be in compliance. So that's kind of the high level at this point in time, based upon where they are in the process. But are there any questions? Kevin, did I say that all right? I think that matches what you said is the updated for the timing and required by the law. Yeah?
Yes, that's correct. The PIG would have, after its presentation, the PIG would have to wait until the next meeting, minimum of 6 days before the committee would vote.
Okay. Yeah, so and maybe, I guess for the folks on the PIG, if you'd like to propose an alternative to that, I think we can. I was real skeptical that we were going to be able to get all the information from folks in the time we had. I had been hoping we could do it in July too, but it looks like we can't necessarily. Although I guess if you could present in June, if somehow that all works out, we could certainly move things faster and do the recommendations in June and then the voting in July. But there is kind of a break there. The other question would be is if you'd like, we could also then schedule a meeting a week later to make the decision at the end of July instead of waiting till August. So I guess think about those things as you guys work through your process as well. And then is there one more slide in this one, Tara? I have two other sort of last bits and pieces. No, okay. So the next thing is that the June meeting, as you can see, the PIG would like to at least give an update on where they're at. If they have questions for the group, that would be a good time too. The issue is that I have a wedding in Virginia, so I am unable to chair that meeting. And we don't really have a vice chair at all. We don't really have anybody designated to be chair in my absence. So I was going to ask for volunteers if someone would be willing on the committee to chair the meeting in my absence. I will not be calling in from Virginia that day. I will be probably somewhere at the National Zoo that night. So I will not be calling in. So any volunteers?
I volunteer as tribute.
Aw, it's a tribute. Thank you, Leah. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have someone to cover the June meeting so that if the PIC needs to talk to folks and have a good conversation or wants to present or somehow gets all the answers and makes a recommendation, we can go forward with that. Great. And then I did want to just open it up. Are there any suggestions for for other meeting presentations that folks would like to hear in the meantime? Absent another chair, I will be continuing. So since nobody else seems to want the job, but I can tentatively schedule things at this point in time. But if there were other suggestions, I was actually thinking maybe some of the more recent Safe Routes to Schools projects that have been implemented, reaching out to folks and the ones that they'd like to highlight from, community groups or some of your partners or any of those sorts of things like Walk, Bike, and Rule Days. But I just wanted to see if there were other ideas for folks of things they would like to have presentations on as we go forward. I kind of went through everybody I had kind of figured out. And I know I asked this question earlier and I know some folks have mentioned like some trails folks too, but I thought it was a good time to reopen it since we've been doing a lot of work.
Katie.
Yeah.
I think the AG recommended to send a letter to the Senate president about their appointee.
Yes, but I wasn't clear on who should do that. I mean, it seems weird for me to do it, to be honest.
If you want it on DOT letterhead, you can send me the draft.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't sure that we had to do that. I know that was one option, but I mean, we can certainly follow on it. But
I think it's up to you, but if you do want it sent, then and you want it on DOT letterhead, then you could send me the draft.
Okay. Yeah, I was not clear on that and just been focusing on moving the other things along, to be honest, since I thought they were kind of higher priority in the meantime. But okay. So but I did just want to open it up so at least there was a list of folks. Jess, I don't know who that person is. Who is Noelle Nickelberry?
She implemented essentially a regional safe routes to school plan out of nothing at Metro.
Okay.
Yeah, she's fantastic. You've met her. I'm sure you've met her.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, that's a good suggestion. I just wanted to solicit if there were ideas or folks that people wanted to hear from again, in this space, and, to help me connect with folks. So obviously, emails, but introductions are also helpful if you have folks, but I was also trying to elevate the work that everybody else is doing. Like, I think some folks know about it when it happens, but not everybody. And so I was just trying to give that space a bit more too, if there were more recent projects.
100%. I agree that the that Hawaii Island, or not Hawaii Island, but yes, also Jesse, Hawaii Island, Hawaii Safe Routes to School project should be elevated for sure. But if you are looking for an example of somebody who's basically 5 years down a regional plan, that might be something to look at.
Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you have other suggestions, feel free to send them my way as well. I mean, we always have not a lot of time right now, but I think we don't need to have one every single time, but having a few every so often is certainly a good idea, just to help, expand our horizons on this stuff. But I think with that, we can transition to the open forum. Invitation to interested members of the public to be heard on matters not included on the agenda. Anybody got anything? All right. Any announcements?
Hi, Katie. This is Eduardo at HBL. I just wanted to let folks know we have a proclamation from Governor Green to celebrate World Bicycle Day in Hawaii, and we're going to be gathering on June 3rd at 5 p.m. in Kaka'ako. Information is going to be on our website about that shortly.
Great. Any other announcements? Oh, Justin, go ahead.
Hey, Katie. Excuse me. I just wanted to announce for folks that the Department of Health, collaborating with state DOT as well as our county department and planning offices and agencies, launched Vision Zero Hawaii, a campaign to bring awareness to Vision Zero to the general public, that we have a statewide plan to eliminate all traffic deaths and serious injuries. And I can drop a link to the website that we published in our chat information.
I don't think they'll walk around.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, there's someone's.
And yeah, we can have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other announcements?
Free range, except not picking up stuff. I mean, not
Okay.
throwing stuff.
If hearing none, we will now adjourn at 10:46. Thanks everybody for your time, and I'll see you in July. But have fun in June. So, bye.
Have a good
Thank
trip.
you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.